Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go over with you is some of the crochet chart symbols and the abbreviations. I know that a lot of you have wanted to learn how to read patterns, and this is one of the ways that you would, of course, come to learn how to do that. I got this from the yarnstandards.com, and it's part of the yarn console. They have different pages that you can look up for knitting and for also crocheting. Now, one of the first the stitches that we want to learn, of course, would be, these are the basic ones, and these of course are more advanced, but the first stitch that we probably would want to learn is the chain stitch. Now this is, if you saw it all written out, it would say chain. When it's abbreviated in patterns, it usually just says CH in lowercase, and if you're doing a diagram like where you see a lot of the Russian diagrams or Japanese or different diagrams that just have these little symbols instead of the names or abbreviations. So the chain is a symbol that looks kind of like a squished down little circle like that. So the first stitch we're going to learn is the chain. Most of the time you begin with a chain, unless maybe you're working with like a what do you call rounding in the circle with a magic loop. So the first stitch I want to teach you is going to be the chain. So this is what the symbol would look like. This is how it is written out, and this is the abbreviation, and that's how you're going to see it, okay? So here, to begin the chain, you just get your yarn. I'm right-handed, so I work with the yarn on my left hand. I just get the yarn. I'm just going to make, some people do different ways. I just get it and then just bring the yarn through the back with a crochet hook. Just pull it up, and you'll have it there. You want it to be tight enough where it doesn't fall off of your hook, but not so tight that you can't move it. Now here, to do the chain, remember this little loop on the hook does not count as a stitch the way that it does on a knitting project. To do the chain, you can wrap the yarn whichever way you find comfortable. Some people do it like this. Usually I just do these two fingers, and then you control the tension of the yarn with how tight you hold the yarn between your fingers. So to begin the chain, you're just going to grab your hook, you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through, and that completes one little chain. Let's get a little closer here so we could see that better. So we're just going to grab the yarn on that hook part and pull it through, and that makes our chain. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, this is usually the basis of most patterns. They'll tell you how many chains to begin with. And so like I said, this is a basic stitch. So once again, the chain, you're going to have just that little loop. You're going to grab the yarn, let it go through that, see that little hook part, and then you pull through, and that is a chain. So this is the chain stitch, and you may want to practice that, and this way you could learn how to control the tension of your yarn. If you just held it like this and just try to grab it, you're not going to be able to learn the tension. So you put it in whichever hand you're dominantly. If you're right-handed, the yarn, it would go on your left hand. If you're left-handed, then it would go on your right, and you would hold the hook on the hand that you are dominant. So here, I'm holding it on the right hand, and that is the chain stitch.